Hello friends, it's me, Genuine Coder. This is the 8th chapter in the JavaFX 3D application development tutorial series. In the last video, we talked about reflection. In this video, we will see how to create lights in your scenes. So in JavaFX, there are two types of lights. One is called an ambient light and one is called a point light. An ambient light is nothing but a light that comes from all directions, and one point light, as the name suggests, comes from one single point. As you can see here, this is an example of point light that we will see in this tutorial. The light is coming from one source, one point, and hitting at this surface and this surface. But if you look at here, there is no light at all in this point, but there is light here. So we will talk about the light in this chapter. By default, JavaFX provides some amount of light. If you run this program without adding any explicit color, you can see that there is light coming to this surface. But as soon as we add one extra light source or an artificial light source, the default light will go away. For example, let me just add one point light. So a point light comes from one single point, whereas ambient light comes from all directions. So here I'm going to add a point light, a simple point light. I haven't specified anything. So when I do this, it should remove the default light from the 3D world. And as you can see right now, the world became completely dark. The surface, as you can see, this is pure black because there is no light reaching here. Instead of adding point light, if I add an ambient light, then ambient light comes from all directions, as I said before. So if I add an ambient light, then you can see it is uniformly illuminated in all surfaces like this, because all surfaces are getting same amount of light. Now let's see how we can customize the light. So instead of adding group.getChildren, I'm going to prepare a new method called prepare light source. So here I'm going to create an ambient light equals new ambient light. Then I will just return the ambient light. And if you look at the methods available, there is an option called set color. So ambient light comes from all directions, and you have an option to specify the color of the light. So let's set a color of maybe aqua blue. There is no aqua blue, let's say aqua. So aqua color is this one. Now let's just run the program. And as you can see, we got an aqua colored light. So this aqua light is coming from all directions and all the edges are illuminated in the same intensity. So that is about the ambient light. Now the most important thing here is the point light. So with point light, we can add light from a symbol or a single point. Let's see how we can do that. So inside this prepare light source, I'm going to comment this section and I'm going to add a point light. So point light, I'm going to create a new point light object. It is available in javafx.scene package, as you can see there. And if you look at the documentation, defines a point light source object, a light source that has a fixed point in space and radiates lights equally in all direction away from itself. So it is radiating light in all direction, but for the object it won't be coming from all the directions. So I created a simple point light and I am returning the point light just like this. And similar to ambient light, I can specify a color for this point light. So point light dot set color and giving a color. For now, I'm going to give a color of red. But currently the problem is, if you add this light source right now, then it will be some at 0, 0, 0 position in the 3D world. So that is actually inside our group object, right? Because the 0, 0, 0 is actually inside this box. So we should not see any color right now or any light right now. As you can see, we are the light is inside this object, but you can move the point light using transforms. So I'm going to move it in somewhere in the 3D world. So that can be done like translate text property setting like that, but there is also another easy way which can be done using get transforms.add, and here you can just move the object using this translate property. So it will say to which position we want to move. So in X I am going to move, in X axis I am not going to move it, but in Y I am going to take it a little bit up by using negative value. Then I am going to set this as maybe 100, set value 100. So it won't be at the 0th position right now, it should come up by a little bit. And as you can see, now the light is coming from somewhere outside the object. So when you add a light source, you can't see where it is coming because we haven't added any object. It is invisible. The light source is invisible by default. So in order for us to see from where it is actually coming, I have an idea. So let me show how we can do that. So I'm going to return a set of nodes, and instead of adding one object, I'm going to add all the objects returned from this light source. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create one sphere, a simple sphere as we discussed in chapter 1, and put it exactly at the position of this point light. So always the point light and sphere will be at the same place, and we can see where the light is coming from. So it is a hack. So sphere equals new sphere. I'm just creating a simple sphere with a radius of 2. Then I'm going to move this sphere to the location of this point light. So that can be done using this set all then point light dot get transforms. So whenever we move this point light, the sphere will also be there because this transform is added to this transform. Then we can do it like new node array with our point light and sphere. Now we should see a sphere with a radius of 2 at the location of the point light, which will help us to locate the location of the point light. And that's it. So as you can see, the light is coming from this point and it is hitting at this point. So that's it guys, that's the end of this video. In the next video we will see what happens if we move this light source. So we will animate this light source and see how it is affecting the surface illumination of this wooden box. So as always, thank you for watching.